to the discipline. I hope I'm audible because I just saw my screen acting funny.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You are audible.
Thank you. Sorry about the interruption. There was a strong urge to contribute effectively to change the grim status and scenario of ECCE prevalent in the country. Despite several provisions in the Constitution and policy programs to intervene in the life of the young child, they were inadequate. Voluntary sector seemed as the sole player that catered to the multi-sectoral needs of children under the age of 6 years at that time. Accessibility, quality issues, capacity building of workforce, and awareness about critical importance of formative years were major issues that were not on the priority agenda of the governments. Professionals were at a loss to improve the scenario. Indian Association of Preschool Education emerged at that stage as the only professional organization and became an effective pressure group that advocated for the well-being of the young child. As a veteran of the field, I am so pleased that I had a chance of being closely involved in its activities from 1974 to 1985. Committed contribution, effective leadership of its office bearers in a short span of time made IAPE as a vibrant and visible professional organization. Important committees of the government related to policy, planning, and development of the young child solicited its advice. IAPE was represented in almost all important forums for early childhood. The national and state chapters were able to build capacities of teachers through workshops, study tours, and the newsletter Balak, instrumental in not only developing capacities of members but added to their motivation and commitment. The annual conference on the themes of topical issues promoted sensitivity about ECE. Sending recommendations to relevant stakeholders resulted in positive outcomes. We have come a long way. IAPE for sure has been instrumental in developments that took place in the country. While provisions for the young child have been made from the first 5 year plan, it is heartening to note that the approach and perspective related to ECCE has evolved from welfare to development to rights. The governmental initiatives having critical significance present a progressive trend. When listed chronologically, the landmark events can be observed as ICDS's, ICDS was launched in 1975. Expansion and universalization of the program took place in 2008 to 2009. Adoption of the National Policy of Education in 2013. Curricular framework and quality standards in 2014. The recently approved new education policy has recognized pre-primary as the first stage of education system. These are very welcoming developments. Further, our understanding about the criticality of formative years has been enhanced by new discoveries in knowledge and neuroscience. It has surely impacted planning process for developing pro policies and effective interventions. And enhanced allocations is likely to help in changing scenario of the well-being of the young children. However, there are still several challenges that need to be addressed to reach the desired goal. A few suggestions here. 1. ECCE to be made a universal entitlement. Well designed programs need to be effectively implemented. 2. Comprehensive actions are required to improve quality of ICDS, the largest government program. 3. Home based programs to be expanded to empower mothers to provide early stimulation to children under the age of 3 years. 4. Regulating mechanisms need to be put in place to ensure quality standards of ECCE for both public and private sectors. At the end, I would like to pay tributes to champions of ECCE who guided, inspired, and motivated us. They were role models and spearheaded the movement of ECCD in the country and IAPE in particular. We salute them to express our gratitude with reverence for their valuable contributions. I may not be able to list all, and I'm going to name some these mentors with whom one had an opportunity to be associated. I feel perhaps many things and skills I have learned were while at their feet. Gangasharan Sinha, J.P. Malik, Mrinalini Sarabhai, Chitra Nayak, Venkatraman Rajalakshmi, Muralidharan, Meena Swaminathan, Anandalakshmi, Subbalakshmi, Uma Banerjee. In closing, I would like to commend and express my appreciation to AECD, the new carnation of erstwhile IAPE, for its valuable achievements. The association has done excellent work in professionalizing ECED through its diverse, innovative activities, be it research, capacity building initiatives, documentation. It has enriched the discipline of ECCE. How can I forget to congratulate both AECD and Mobile Crashes for successfully completing this virtual world conference? Best wishes and blessings for future endeavors. Thanks to the viewers for this indulgence. Namaskar. So that was an honor. Thank you very much. I hope I did some justice to what Adarsh ma'am would have herself said. She being a teacher of my teachers, this was a big responsibility on me. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
In continuation of honoring the stalwarts of IAPE and AECD, we would now like to introduce one more stalwart, and it's my pride and privilege to welcome Nalini Chugani ma'am, whom we affectionately acknowledge as the Bhishma at IAPE and AECD. She has played a pivotal role in guiding and mentoring us through the last 4 decades and more about the core philosophy of our organization, that is quality care and education for all children, and spearheaded numerous programs. She has a master's degree in child development from University of North Carolina. She has taught at Nirmala Niketan College of Home Science in the Department of Human Development. She has been the principal of Saifi Burani Teacher Training College, Mumbai, among her other contributions to the field of ECD. She has contributed hugely to the field of early childhood education as the member of various committees to frame policies in ECE both at the state level and national level. She is the member of the board of directors for mobile creches, and she guides programs for infants, young children, training of teachers for this organization. Additionally, she has been the recipient of many awards and recognition for her immense contribution to the field. As we try to juggle between planning programs, deciding the charges for workshops, she always reminds us again and again about reaching out to all children and not really pricing our workshops at a very high price where people can't afford. Her aim has always been to reach out the most, you know, the people who are not able to get the training and the knowledge. So we have been providing lots of concessions, and we are always trying to see that no matter what, whatever knowledge we are trying to share with ECD professionals, it is available to all, including NGOs, professionals from NGOs, and the students who are studying in the field of ECE. It is this core philosophy that motivates us at AECED to continue and provide quality early childhood education for all children. Over to you, Nalini ma'am. Bhupendra, is Nalini?
Shobha ma'am, yeah, Shobha ma'am, we are trying to reach her,
Okay,
and we will just put her on the stage. We are trying to contact her. There is some technical problem or some internet issue with her. We
okay.
are trying.
I think
So,
uh, Nalini ma'am is not being able to join. As soon as she is able to join, we will take her on stage. But let's not delay because it's now 8 o'clock. But we'll try and get her. We are still trying. As soon as she comes, we'll take on stage. So, ma'am, request Shobha to continue. Yeah, sorry for the trouble and really, really would have loved to hear Nalini ma'am on stage. We're still trying to get her on stage. Please bear with us.
So, Archana, do we go on with the wrap up?
See?
Archana ma'am, are you able to hear Shobha ma'am?
Archana, I think she's not able to hear. Can you hear me?
I think let's start.
Yes.
So, yeah, let's start.
Okay.
Okay, because everybody is waiting. Let's start.
We will now move on to the wrap up session of the conference. So, namaste and good evening. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Dr. Shobha Bharat, an Executive Council member of AECD at the National and Mumbai chapter. On behalf of AECD and Mobile Crashes, it gives me immense pleasure to reflect on the 3 days with joy and happiness coupled with a sense of achievement. I take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for attending the Early Years Virtual Conference on Reimagining and Reshaping Early Childhood Care and Education in the New Normal, jointly brought to you by Association of Early Childhood Education and Development and Mobile Crashes. Well, the first 3 days were action packed, literally. We were all jumping from one session to another. Despite a few technical glitches, it was smooth sailing for most of the sessions. The proceedings began with dedicating this conference to our very own dear Manisha Singh Diwan, the spirit behind this virtual world conference. Dr. Vrinda Datta, President AECED, and Ms. Sumitra Mishra, Executive Director, Mobile Crashes, welcomed the audience and gave the introductory remarks. There was a virtual tribute to another stalwart of IAPE, Mrs. Meena Swaminathan. This was followed by the keynote by Professor Dr. Joan Lombard, who made us all reflect about the goals of ECE and understand critical components with regard to reimagining, reshaping, and recommitting to ECE in the context of the child. The first plenary session began with the mesmerizing talk by Dr. Devdutt Patnaik. His talk on the role of myth in shaping imagination, which not only instilled a sense of delight in understanding our own Indian mythological stories, but also helped us to respect the cultures of others. Each one of us looked at storytelling from different perspectives. Talks by Dr. Marlene Fleur, Dr. Vasudevi Reddy and Dr. Sylvia Almeida brought out various facets of the well being of the child, be it understanding the nuances of conceptual play world or trying to understand infant and young children's behavior with a completely different perspective or deciphering the experiences of early childhood educators. Paper and poster presentations, along with the global voices, brought out research based on conceptual ideas and activities that were implemented in the classroom in the field of ECE. From technology usage to parent engagement frameworks to peace education, we had a plethora of papers being presented with confidence. The parallel workshops that we organized were crowd pullers, and each workshop saw the active participation of everyone. The polls were engaging and comments and questions flowed in the Q&A and the chat boxes. From adventures through adversity to raising readers to centering well-being for children in the virtual and the physical world and partnering with parents, every workshop was informative and insightful. We did not even realize the lapse of time way past our schedule. On day two, after a bit of a juggle with technical glitches and learning to handle them, we stepped on to day two. The second plenary focused on the development of the workforce from burnout to turnaround. Professor Patricia Jennings sent us a video recording of a splendid talk on turning the tide on teacher burnout a mindfulness based approach, the true meaning of mindfulness was brought out very clearly. The other plenary speakers, Dr. Vrinda Datta, Ms. Kyunga Bang, uh, that is Christy, Ms. Christine Shen, and Zorika, through their presentations, brought out very clearly the status of ISI in India, Asia Pacific, community practices from Singapore schools. Global Voices and paper presentations brought out the exemplary work carried out in our country and abroad. It was very heartening to see such research based activities taking place in the field of ECE. Topics revolved around ECCE personnel and parents. Plenary 3 uh, held each one of us in rapt attention. Dr. Samir Dalwai, developmental and behavioral pediatrician, literally taught us to build bridges with parents and families. The arch approach was a big takeaway for each one of us. This was followed by an engaging panel discussion on reimagining parents and families as partners and collaborators, from responsible parenting to responsible and responsive parenting. Our speakers, Dr. Amit Sen to Mrs. Revati Srinivasan to Sai Geeta, brought out the national and international perspectives and researches that valued the nexus between the parents and the educators. Plenary 4 was on the topic ECCE as a sector in the post pandemic future, from survive to thrive. The guest speaker, Ms. Ray, through her relevant personal experiences, highlighted the importance of convergence, funding, investments, teacher training support, maintaining standards, resource allocations, and empathy in policy framing and implementation. Mr. Andrew Bollington's talk highlighted social innovations to move policy and the importance of sustainability, impact of programs, scaling and monitoring to ensure quality in programs. Ms. Aya Mansoura spoke about the importance of investing in care economy to enhance women's participation in work, ensuring gender equality, and the challenges in ensuring quality childcare. Evelyn Santiago stressed the importance of networking, which would be critical in influencing policies for achieving ECD outcomes. Srimati Uma Mahadevan set goals for ECD in 20 years. She emphasized the importance of different aspects of universal childcare and presented the vision to transform the world for a better tomorrow for our youngest citizens. After the interesting and insightful plenary sessions, there were four parallel sessions, including global voices and paper presentations. The presenters shared their research and practices on a variety of topics in ECD related to their work in India and abroad. This was followed by four hands on workshops related to subthemes 2 and 3, focusing on the interrelationship between people, process, and environment, understanding play and rest to build resilience through therapeutic movement, building skills in mothers to enhance experiential learning with the help of numerous activities. To conclude, we need to envisage early childhood education programs that promote holistic development and well being of children under the care and guidance of competent early childhood professionals and responsive and responsible parents. These goals will be achieved when comprehensive policies and programs will be framed keeping in mind the benefits for all stakeholders. Evelyn Santiago ma'am shared this quote during a presentation and it touched a chord. Networks are unique and powerful vehicles for social change. So we need to continue to come together and work actively to achieve the goals for the ECD sectors. Thank you very much. Swati, over to you.
May I request Bhupendra to please rejoin this?
I'm sorry, there seems to be a small technical glitch. We are waiting for Swati. Yeah, Swati.
So, dear friends, there's a very fun choices poll that I have put together because everybody says COVID was bad, but then before the screen was coming on, I thought I'll make five fun choices. No program is complete without thanking people, and I think so the audience, the speakers, the moderators, Mobile Crash, AECD team, volunteers, speakers from across the world who came together to make this possible. It started with a dream, a vision that one year we had postponed and we had cancelled the conference because of COVID, but we said we'll do it virtually. The next slide, please. Just to sum up the audience, there were 600 attendees that registered for the conference. Over 475 had unique attendees had logged in till yesterday. Today, I hope we had touched all 600. We had participants, speakers from over 10 countries, and they logged in from different countries across. If I say the states, we had people from 21 states. We had people from cities like Dibrugarh to Delhi, Mumbai to Manipur, and Chhattisgarh to Madras. Oops, Chennai, there's a name change. I forget always that. From over 70 cities and from so many districts like Pitampura to Parbhani to Sonale to Imphal to Kadalur to Akola of Maharashtra. So thank you very much for all your participation, all your support. May I have the next slide? I can't name all the speakers because it will take me 5 minutes and I don't want to. But here I would like to thank all the paper presenters, all the speakers, all the moderators, all the silent workers behind the scene, AECD, Mobile Crash volunteers, and of course the platform that is the town script and the town hall for booking and allowing us the platform. Technical glitches happen, but you made it possible for us to have absolutely zero glitch journey on the second and third day. The next slide. Most of you were here to see how the conference spanned out, but some of us were not. One of us could not join us. And that brings sorrow to my heart because when I was planning the town hall platform, this was the person who wanted votes, who wanted calls, who wanted 5 fun choices. So here's a shout out for Monisha for being amazing. Next. So a big thank you to all our amazing speakers, hosts, moderators, guests, and attendees. Thank you for making the event a huge success. There'll be more on the way. So hopefully offline too and online too. So stay tuned. And please do not forget to fill the feedback form. The link is given and you'll also be getting an announcement. Before I hand over to Shobha and Archana Jain ma'am for the closing statement, I would like, and a dedication to Monisha Diwan, I would like to sum it up with a beautiful Sanskrit shloka because we started with a prayer shloka. And this, I'm not going to ask for a slide share or a video share, but I'm going to say this aloud. I think most of us would know this shlok, and you can repeat with me if you know it. Sarve bhavantu sukinaha, sarve bhavantu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kasyid dukbhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you very much. I'm handing it over to Shobha and Archana Jain ma'am and trying and seeing if Nalini ma'am can join us on stage. Thank you very much.
I don't think Nalini ma'am has been able to join in. So, Bhupendra, any luck in getting contact with Nalini ma'am? Santosh, I think you were trying.
I think we should go ahead, ma'am. There is no message from our side.
Okay, okay. Vidya, there was a video that was supposed to be shared. Santosh, was there a video that that was supposed to be shared?
Yes, we have video.
Yeah,
Just
please play that. That's a tribute to Monisha. Thank you for sharing the video with us. Monisha may not be with us
in
in
body, but
body,
in
but in
spirit,
spirit. I
I
think
think
she'll be
she'll be
always with
always
us.
with us.
I would be failing in my duty if I did not thank some of the people who were working very hard to make this a success. Of course, Monisha initiated it under the very able guidance of Vrinda ma'am and the full support from her. And of course the guidance of other stalwarts like um Nandita ma'am, Rekha ma'am, Rekha Sen, Sumitra Mishra, and so many of us. But another pillar, which was a very strong pillar, which took care of all our media and all our creative ideas and all, was Swati Bhatt. She
Yeah.
was very she did not
Okay. It's
say
a,
it, but uh, she was
Nalini
very
ma'am
very
will,
active
yeah.
person. Nalini ma'am
You
has
can.
joined us.
yeah,
Yeah,
Nalini
Nalini
ma'am
ma'am
is,
has joined us.
Thank you so
So
much.
yeah,
Thank you.
I can, yeah. Okay,
Thank
so I think we'll first allow Nalini ma'am to talk, and then I will continue. Yes, Nalini ma'am,
thank you,
please share your
Sumitra.
thoughts.
I, with all this drama going on around my computer, I've forgotten everything that I
Ma'am,
wanted
you
to
speak from
say.
your heart. You speak from your heart, ma'am. It will be good enough.
My messages to AECD mainly, because I don't know if anybody else will listen. One thing I've always said, and I want to say again, this was fantastic. First of all, the conference, every way, in spite despite all the we had certain very sad incidents, losing Monisha and other glitches came up, but still I think the complete teamwork was almost perfect, which took care of whatever few things that were going wrong or right, as we see now. The tech support can sometimes just go wrong. But it was, and I think it was really heartening to see the team coming together and replacing each other. If somebody had to be there, the other person was there. And it was really heartening. It shows the kind of spirit we have. And I think it is now showing a lot, but this has been there in the association, in the organization from the days of IEP. Because I remember in 1986 when we were organizing a conference, national conference in Bombay, and that was my first exposure of what I should say, the responsibility of organizing it. And I had to go for surgery suddenly, few months before. And anyway, that came out all right. And then our president, Dr. Veena Mistry, who was to arrive just 2 days before, about a week back before she broke her thigh bone, and but still she came from Baroda to Bombay with the leg in the cast. It was amazing. And she played her role the best, telling us all Nasruddin Mullah jokes that she generally did, and really was a great inspiration. So the spirit continues because our heart beats for the children, young children. We have always had that in mind, and that will go on. My request, which has always been there, is let's also have programs in the local languages, not only in Mumbai, but in wherever we are, other branches, to reach out to the other half of the children and the parents and the teachers who sometimes miss out on all these great get togethers that we have, so inspirational. The exposure is wonderful. So, somewhere I think we have to think of doing programs in the local languages, reaching out to the local people, children, parents who do not understand English very well. So that is my one request. And another is, I'll just say about the teachers, because this new NEP really is a challenge for the teacher trainers. We have such great, lofty ideas there, and really what we wanted all the time for the children. That kind of educational setup now is being encouraged by the government, and it is really a heartening thing for us. But we have to come up, when I say we, not just the association, but we professionals in early childhood education, to respond to this challenge and do the job that we are supposed to do. That the teacher trainers, the universities, the all these small colleges, we must come up with that, because unless, if our programs remain as they are, I don't think much is going to be done. This goes also for the ICDS training and any other government training also. If we do not train the teachers according to the demands of NEP and what really should be there, it will be very difficult to deliver what we are really talking about. So this is, and for that, I think we may have to play a role, because at least at the local level, we can do. What I found during my days of training, that if we want teachers to follow the play and the philosophy of early childhood education, we need to treat the teachers in the same way. If we have a very formal curriculum and we want them to just pass the exams without too much of practical, because everybody, all training colleges do not follow that, or giving them a chance to explore, to create, to come up with solutions, they will not be able to do that with children. So that is another thing, we need to change our uh, methods of training, make it more trainee friendly, because they are from the formal school system, so they have had no exposure to what we are talking about. So we have to set it in a way, train them, give them the chances, so that they will deliver, they will feel the same. And one more thing, as we have always already talked about in the conference also, the let the trainees or other people, adults who are working with children, even the parents, reaching out to the parents is another thing we tried here, but we haven't yet really continued it, because parents, teachers, and us other professionals, we form the triangle for the children. So the parents have a big stake here, and they also need to understand what early childhood education means, because when we talk to the schools, they say, oh, the parents want us to do this, the usual thing. But I think that is another area AECD may need to go. I know it's a lot, everybody is busy, but I think somewhere on our agenda, we'll have to put that, so that we can fulfill the demands and the aspirations of what NEP is coming up, and we play our role to the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. So I was just as I was mentioning that I wanted to put on record the contributions made by Swati Bhatt and of course Grishma, who was also a very major administrative tech support. Mumbai Mobile Crash volunteers who helped us with the tech. Uh, and the entire AECD team. I can't mention everyone, but if in case I have forgotten to mention someone, please pardon me. I don't want to go beyond. We are already at 8:50, so we will close the session now. Please remember to fill the feedback form. It's an earnest request because we need your feedback. It's very very important for us. Thank you. We Now we will just have the national anthem and we will close the session. Can someone play? I request everyone to stand for the national anthem. And will someone play the national anthem for us? Santosh?